So, still on the road in Romania. I'm going to post some photos later on because I'm riding through proper Romania now. The villages, a lot of poverty. It's a very interesting place, and the people, they wave to you. If you stop and have a cup of coffee, they talk to you, or at least they try to, because very few speak any form of English whatsoever out here. You're very much on your own, but they're very pleasant. They're lovely people. I love the country, absolutely. It's a travesty. It's so sad that it is as poor as it is, because it's just, I think you expect, very poor countries to be very barren. Nothing grows in them. You look around, deserty type places, and you think, well, yeah, what would grow? But this is the complete opposite. It's beautiful green. There's plants everywhere. There's loads of land. You sort of feel as if they could be growing all sorts, and whatever. But they're not. Their economy's on the floor, and it's a massive divide between the city centres and the rural areas. And I sort of love both, really. But a couple of things that have sort of occurred to me and been brought to my attention. Ooh, big expression. The dangers of travelling on your own. Are there any dangers? I don't know. Yeah, there are, but you balance that off with the idea of actually doing it. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it, would you? But a Swiss guy stopped me. Well, he didn't stop me at all. I was getting petrol before, and a Swiss guy approached me, and they're sort of intrigued by the fact that if they can see that you're on a British bike, they know that you're a long way from home. So he got talking to me, and ironically, he's also going to Transylvania, which is ironic because it's a good 300 or 400 miles from here, so he could be far more likely going to Bucharest or whatever, because that's the same road until we split off shortly. But anyway, he was going to Transylvania as well. His girlfriend lives there. He's about my age. Biggish guy, driving along, comes over and chats to me and said, where was I going? I said, I'm in Transylvania, and he told me the story then. I'm going to see my girlfriend and her parents and one thing or another. And he said, God, you're mad, travelling on your own. He said, I'd love to do what you're doing. And he'd asked which of the countries I'd been to, where was I going? And I think quite a lot of people think that Moldova and Ukraine is certainly high risk, but he was saying that Romania was. As I say, he's Swiss, from Switzerland. But he said that Romania, I just feel so incredibly safe in this place. And it's a bit of a bloke's thing, because anybody who's travelled to the likes of Egypt, Greece, you ladies may well say, oh, the guys in Egypt and Greece, they're lovely. Well, yeah, they are, because they like you fair-skinned ladies from Britain. So they are going to be nice to you. But if you talk to most fellas, they turn round and there's not a great deal of Greeks, and there's very few Egyptians that I would personally trust. They don't particularly wish to know British men. They like to know British women for a very different reason. So when you come to countries like this, one of the first things that you sort of work out pretty quickly is what reaction you're getting from the men. Kids and wives throughout the world, women, wives, mums, whatever. But kids, women, girls, they're the same old, the world over. I've never really come across a set of kids, whether it be in Kenya or America or any part of Europe. Kids are kids. They wave to you because you're on a motorbike. They're nice people. They're fine. And the same with women. I've never really come across women that have been felt threatened by or not welcomed by. Hey, with my looks, it's flaming obvious that I'm going to get welcomed by women throughout the world. Ha ha. That was a joke. Okay, but blokes, totally different thing. And Bulgaria is a really good example of that. You're not welcome there as a bloke. I travelled quite a lot in Bulgaria last year, and I'm sort of avoiding it this year because two reasons really. Number one, I can avoid it. I don't need to go into Bulgaria at all. Not a particular country that I find interesting or I like, and I definitely don't trust the guys over there. They're not welcoming. They're just not what, I'm not going to say that they're looking for trouble, or they want to cause trouble, but they're not welcoming. Whereas Romania, in my opinion, is totally different. Romania is just absolutely lovely. The people are very laid back, very welcoming. You're a bit unique, who the hell are you? What are you doing this for? So you get, a barrage of usual questions about why have you come here? But very welcoming and non-threatening. So I don't think it is a risk, but you just become, I think just travelling on your own full stop, you become aware of anything. Even now I'm sort of looking around for any unusual behaviour. A mate of mine actually said that to me before it came out. He said that's, he's got army training, and he said that's what you should be always aware of when you're travelling to somewhere abroad. Pick up on unusual behaviour, and it's true. If you've got, I don't know, you can be in traffic. I've always been told to leave an exit route. Don't get yourself jammed up behind a truck or a van or something where you couldn't manoeuvre the bike out of the way. And I've done that several times so far, where I've been in a queue of traffic, and you've just been aware that there's a few lads knocking around. I noticed it in Belgrade a couple of times, and I probably in my head, but you know what? I'd rather be safe than sorry. So all I do is allow an exit route, and if I just feel a little bit of tension, a little bit of what are they up to? Why are they paying attention to me? Because there's no real reason, unless they just want to look at the bike and give me a bit of a wave. They don't need to come over and talk to me. I've got a helmet on, so therefore, I'm not going to be having a conversation with them as such like that. That's for when you're sitting having a cup of coffee, not when you're sitting in the middle of traffic. So I scootle off in those circumstances, and I've done it 2 or 3 times so far. Once actually was in Germany. There was quite frictional in Stuttgart. Didn't like that scenario, and as I say, might be in my head, probably isn't, but there we go. So there we go. So yeah, go travelling on your own if you're a man. If you're a woman, it's a different world, sadly. I'm not so sure I would be recommending ladies travelling on their own. There we go.